Is Mother Knows tapping in with another fresh cup of tea for the hustlers. And today we got R&B royalty in the building. He's been giving us love, soul, and grown man vibes for years. Y'all know him as the Love King. Please welcome Raheem DeVaughn.
Uh, I'm about to use that for intro
I know.
for concerts.
Bring me out to the Philly show. I got you, bro. What's
There
up,
it
Ra?
is.
How you
What's going
feeling?
on? I'm feeling good, feeling good. Thankful and this gratitude is the days are the words I try to focus on these days.
I know that's right. Let's start right there. You carried that Love King title for a long time. What does that mean to you today in this phase of your life?
Oh man, to be an example, to be try to be the light of the world that people need to see. So much going on in the world. I think that, by the time somebody buys a ticket for a concert or, finds some new music to listen to, we all searching for our own little piece of happiness and sense of escapism from things, you know what I mean? So, that's very important to have a vibration of love in the music, but more importantly, just loving on my people, loving on the community. You know what I mean? And just trying to aspire to inspire.
And how would you describe the space you're in right now, mentally, creatively, and spiritually?
I think I think mentally it's a day-to-day battle for everybody. Everybody has their own personal battles and demons that they fighting. You know what I mean? I think to be one of the best things one of the things that I've learned to embrace is basically, being able to say I'm okay with not being okay, or letting people know, hey, I'm not okay today, or today's not a good day, or hey, I'm going to take a mental health day for work today and pamper myself and love on myself. You know what I mean? These type of things. So I'm very big on mental health. It's one of my major initiatives for my foundation, the Love Life Foundation, as in celebration and honor of my dad who passed away. Mental health is something that I strive to understand and give grace on. But also, letting people know it's cool to have your boundaries and stuff like that. But I'm in a place of like gratitude, growth. Just celebrated the 20th anniversary of my first album, The Love Experience. And,
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. On 2025, I just dropped my 10th album. You know, which is doing this thing. Quiet Storm Lover to May Own is being received very well, and preparing to go on tour with Floor Tree and Tidra Moses, and like what, less than 2 weeks now.
Life is good for
Yeah.
Raheem DeVaughn.
It's cool. It's cool. I can't complain. What I mean. It could be a lot. I could be saying a lot of other things. So you know what I mean. Like it's definitely. I am thankful. Yeah.
I have been a fan since your debut album. I mean, Guess Who Loves You More blew me away when I first heard it. I never forget, you came out here many moons ago. It was a Heineken Fest tour. It was you and Little Mo.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was an amazing show. When you listen to your earlier records versus what you're creating now, what
hmm
growth do you hear in yourself?
I think it's the penmanship. My vocal ability. My need to want to get better. I think when you naturally do something and over and over and over again, and repetitiously, you can't help but get better. You know what I mean? You become a creature of habit. I think the 10,000 hour effect is a very real thing. You know, and it's necessary. The trial and error is necessary. I think you understand the art of failure and how failure creates greatness. And I'm just, at the end of the day, I think I'm a walking example of like prayer, preparation, and purpose. You know what I mean? Like, um, to pray and to prepare is one thing, but to have the purpose, like, is probably the most important thing. Like, it's the why matters to me more than ever, and it definitely, I understand how important the why is now. You know, at this stage in my life than I did, 20 years ago or 30 years ago.
Your music has always felt real. Like, It comes from experience. Are you creating right now from love, healing, or a mix of everything?
I think it's a mix of everything. Like, it's even from a place of even from a vicarious place. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like, you know, things I might hear the homies talk about, or watching that one, you know, emotional scene, on Netflix and chill time, or inspiration and ideas and art comes from life daily. You know what I mean? And I, I feel like um, true artists wear it on their sleeve. You know what I mean? True artists can talk from a personal from a personal space, but also um, from a space of what they say in radio and media, the theater of the mind. You know what I mean? Like, which is very, is this is equally important and fulfilling.
Absolutely. You have records for days. I love Customer. I love Believe. I love Woman. I love You. I could go on and on. What's one song in your catalog that still hits you personally every time you perform it?
I probably would say probably You. I mean, I'm starting to remake my catalog now, um, to breathe new life into it, revisit old things, um, to share them with new people. Create new fans, reconnect with my older audience. It's also a business move too, because it becomes a new master, which gives me ownership, which is very important to me.
Good for you. Ownership is
Yeah,
super important for
yeah,
artists.
yeah, what I mean, especially being an independent artist after, 16 years in now that I've been an independent artist,
That's the
so that
last time. Wait. What was the last? Not Atlantic. Who you was with before?
so I was
Jive,
never with
right?
Atlanta. Yeah, I was with Job Records. Yeah, yeah. So I did
Wow.
my last major recording contract was in 2010. And, when the clock struck 12 on January 1st, 2011. That was, I became an independent artist, and I've been independent ever since. I've done one offs here and different things, with different distributors, and just navigated through the business and finding a business model that worked best for me. Most recently, my most recent project is a direct to consumer release, first and foremost, and then we go to DSP. We always go to the DSPs afterwards. Shout out to Even.biz, which is providing a platform for recording artists and authors and people from all walks of life to be able to put out music independently and go right directly to the fans.
You're about to hit the road with Floetry and Tidra Moses. What excites you most about this tour before it even kicks off, Raheem DeVaughn?
I think it's just the fact of being in great company. I've never toured with Floetry, so I'm excited about that. I feel like I may have the only duet that exists on the planet with them. Speaking on my song Marathon, which is part of my Love Behind the Melody album.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I'm excited about touring with them, Tidra as well, who's family, and most importantly, connecting with the fans and the audiences. There's always new people who I haven't performed for, who haven't seen me. This new album, Quiet Storm Lover to May Un, which is French in Volume One. It's a slow jam album. It's a balladeer album. I've always wanted to make an album that you can play from beginning to end. That's reminiscent of, like, that Diary of a Mad Bad Jodeci album where they have the slow songs back to back to back. Um, yeah, so it's like I'm calling it Slow Jam Album of the Year, and it's a fusion of my first love being music, being a balladeer, and my newfound love in media. I took over the original Quiet Storm on 96.3 WHUR probably about a year
Yo,
and a half
salute to you.
ago.
You killing it on
Yeah,
radio, Raheem DeVaughn.
yeah, yeah.
What made
Thank
you
you.
want to get into radio?
Yeah, for me, I, transparently, I always wanted to do radio. I was always kind of they always kind of had to pull my coattail early in my career, because I would go, I would always be asking and just always curious about being on the other side of the mic, on the on the other side of the console when I'm going in to do like radio promo and stuff like that. But I grew up listening to Melvin Lindsay, in Washington D.C. Um, if you would have told me, 50 years later, 40 years later, that I would um, be doing, have that job now, and to be able to carry on the legacy of what he created, and of course Kathy Hughes, who was the one who thought of the idea and passed it along to Melvin. Like, man, I couldn't ask for a better start to a new career path. You know what I mean? So I'm taking this day by day and humbly. It's been a humble journey for me. You know, being in media. I think one of the things I love about it the most is being able to is to celebrate my peers, you know, and break records. And I'm not the only dope artist on the planet. There's a lot of dope artists that need to be heard and celebrated. You know what I mean? And I get an opportunity to do that night after night, playing the slow jams that we grew up on, playing the new records that
You
come
having a good
out. And
time over there.
oh yeah, I'm having a blast, man.
I can
Yeah,
tell. I've
yeah,
seen a few clips on social media. Very proud
yeah.
of you. When you
Thank
first
you.
got the call to join the tour, what was your immediate reaction? I mean,
Oh man, yeah, oh, absolutely. And I was and I was like happy to hear like it's the actual group and that it's groups go through a lot. You know,
mm-hmm.
friendships go through a lot, and part of growth is maturity and healing and loving and sometimes taking space to reconnect. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping I'm hoping to see all of that and I'm thankful with that. That my name is in the conversation to be able to go out on the road with my sisters. Natalie and Marsha. And Tidra as well.
What do you want fans to feel when they leave this show?
Euphoria, like you just stepped out of an R&B time machine. It's R&B soulful time machine. Um, be hoarse the next day. You know what I mean? Like like all the emotions, all the great things that should happen. On that date night. You know what I mean? Or on that night where you just out and you're not taking sand to the beach, so you just out and you loving on yourself. Whatever the vibes is, you just know there's gonna be great music involved.
Absolutely.
A lot of music at the end of the day, it creates memories. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That we can associate with for a lifetime. So I want people to feel good. I want people to feel safe. I want people to feel loved. I want people when they leave the show to feel the highest vibration. 528 megahertz of LOVE, as I say, every night closing out my show in the quiet store.
You've helped shape modern R&B, whether people say it's enough or not, right? What
Mm-hmm.
do you want your legacy to be when it's all said and done?
Man, I'm creating it in real time. Know that I was a real one. I stood 10 toes down. Um, you know, for my moral compass, spirituality, for the art form as we know is soul and R&B, the performance arts aspect of it. Always want to give 100, 200%, um, as it relates to in the studio and on stage, but more importantly, like um, it's about the character and what we do off stage that matters the most that I've learned. And I want people to know that I was a community guy, and that you know you don't have to be Raheem DeVaughn to care about people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going into my third year of my partnership with Gilead Sciences, in terms of HIV awareness, treatment, and just having those conversations, you know what I mean, about sexual health that are important.
Mm-hmm.
I came up in an era where there was a lot of messaging, you know what I mean, and now, for the younger generation, my sons and his little brothers, like it's important for me for people to know that it's not an LGBTQ thing, it's a life thing, you know what I
Amen.
mean, and that you know I couldn't have a better partner in the community than Gilead. I've had other partnerships, but like I said, I'm going into my third year partnership with them, and it's been great because they're very much about our values align as it relates to like community. You know what I mean? So for more information on what I'm doing as it relates to Gilead, um, you know, you can log on to Gilead.com. Of course, my foundation, Love Life Foundation, DMV.org, and my work with mental health, and as well as fighting domestic violence. There's a lot of different initiatives out here. So again, what I do on stage is just as important as what I do off stage for me, and the
How do you
legacy that I'm creating.
how do you feel about where R&B is right now? And are we in a good space?
I feel like we're in an excellent space. You know what I mean? And, it's dope to see that they bringing the verses back. I would like to see them diversify a little more, open it up for artists such as myself. I feel like I definitely
Oh, you ready to hit it? You ready to hit the
have
stage for
have
verses?
oh
Let's go.
I've been ready. I stay ready. So we don't got to get ready. The real question is who would you put me up against? You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
that's the real
I would have
the
to
real
think about that
question.
because I'm
You
an
know?
intentional brother, so I'm not going to pair Raheem DeVaughn
Yeah,
with
yeah,
anybody.
yeah, yeah. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. But just
Absolutely,
to
but
yeah,
that would be
the,
dope.
yeah, to have the name in the conversation. I would love to see. I would love to see. Um, I mean, obviously, I think a great match would be Chris Brown and Usher. I think everybody wants to see that. You
Yes.
know what I mean? There's been some whispers about them touring together, and you know what I mean, and that type of thing. So,
You know
um,
what? I just thought about something. Kem would be dope. Kem versus Raheem DeVaughn.
oh man, you know what? I would not be mad at that.
Yeah,
I
I
think you
like
wanted
that.
something. I think you wanted something with that, especially the timeline of when we both dropped records and just the whole nine. Yeah, yeah, no doubt,
Absolutely.
no
Yo, I
doubt.
just listened to your Pressure Jill Scott remix.
Yeah,
Oh man, that's a home run. That needs
yeah,
to be an official
yeah,
remix. Jilly from Philly, if you're
yeah.
listening and whenever you watch this interview, Raheem DeVaughn paid homage and put some stank on that pressure.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, man. Hey, look, all they got to do is hit me up and say they need the session, and I'll gladly send the files. But when I jack the beat and I do these these remixes, it's really just to pay homage to the record that typically it's a record that's already been proven to stay in power to be a hit, and I love what Jill stands for. I love the message of the record, obviously, and I just wanted to just kind of approach it from a male point of view to let the brothers know out there it's okay to celebrate our women and to continuously lift them up because is, like Jill said, it's a lot of pressure being a woman, and it's something that I never will be able to walk in their shoes. You know what I mean? But it's just like to be there and to be a word, to have those words of encouragement and that type of thing. It's right in my alley. No different than a song like "Woman" or "Queen" or any of the anthems out there that I have to celebrate women.
Before I let you go, what's next for you and what should the people be ready for, Raheem DeVaughn?
Just working. Definitely, this new project, Quiet Storm Lover, Tume Un is out now. Tume Un is volume one in French, so you can expect more volumes of the Quiet Storm Lover, for the Quiet Storm Lover brand, and I'll be, releasing, working on a lot of new music, uh, figuring out how I want to approach the Master Deluxe, version of the project. So that's something in the immediate future. If you buy the album on even.biz and buy it directly from me, I get 80% of the revenue. So I want to remind the listeners out there and viewers out there to buy the art from the artist directly. We get a fraction of a penny for every time the music is streamed. So I'm on the road to 100K independently. I'm like approaching 30K right now on even.biz. Of course, you can stream the album everywhere except for Spotify. But the biggest thing you can do is when you go to an Apple or Tidal Music or the even.biz is to buy the art. Hit that buy button. You know what I mean? Subscribe on YouTube to my YouTube channel because the U video is out. Did a whole new video. And a whole new version. It's the same vocals. Well, it's a new vocal, new production, same energy. You know what I mean? And we just went top 20, so we're on the road to,
Congratulations.
yeah, we're on the road to number one, and yeah, I'm just working more community work, doing some acting. You know what I mean? Looking to land more licensing and sync situations, and like I said, radio is a new career path for me. So, you know, I'm definitely looking to do syndication. You know what I mean, and expand. And expand the brand. And be that voice and that personality, radio personality at late night. For late and evening radio. Talk radio and the slow jams, all the good things.
I just want to say thank you, Raheem DeVaughn. This is a full circle moment for me. I don't know if you remember, probably 15 plus years ago, me and you did an interview. I was on Blog Talk Radio. I wasn't even working at a radio station. I
Wow.
was doing podcasts before it was a thing from my bedroom with
My,
a Radio Shack
myself
mic.
too. Yeah.
And you pulled up,
Yeah.
shout out to Sarita. I never forget. She was your publicist back then. And
Yeah.
Sarita made it happen. And I followed your career from day one. I'm proud of you, Raheem DeVaughn.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
doing amazing things, continued success, and I cannot wait to come out and support the Love King. Let people know
I'm
where they can
proud.
follow you.
Hey, look, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of us. You know what I mean? I had a podcast. I had a quote unquote podcast from 2010 to 2013. So it's crazy to be ahead of the curve. I've heard that story time and time again. And one thing that I've learned about in media is, the same people you see on the way up, you see
Mm.
in between, on the way down. Nobody is too big, tall, or small to sit down and have a conversation and talk perspective and talk life because you know every you know everybody has you got certain people in media that ask the same questions, right? They're gonna ask the questions, but then
I
the
didn't though,
question
right, Rob?
not at all. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean. So whether it's the tough questions or just creating a level of comfortability to have somebody open up, you know what I mean? And share their life, is never anything that I take for granted. You can find me on Instagram at Raheem underscore Devon, Facebook.com/Raheem Devon. I'm on YouTube, my YouTube channel, Raheem Devon channel, but all things Raheem Devon, you can log on to RaheemDevonOnline.global. Once again, that's RaheemDevonOnline.global. That will lead you to my world globally as it relates from radio to the new project to the foundation and all the cool things I got going on.
And Raheem, after this tour with Floetry and Tidra Moses, we got to work on doing something, an anniversary for the first album.
Oh yeah,
That would be
absolutely.
dope where you come and you sing song 1 through 14 because that
Yeah,
album
yeah,
was
yeah,
packed.
yeah.
I'm
Nah,
just
that's what's
saying.
up. That's what's up. It's a lot that I want to do, man. Everything in moderation, and again, thank you for the words of encouragement. You know what I mean, and your support and your brand as well.
Anytime, my brother. I'll see you next week.
All right, there it is.
Much
Love.
love.